everybody. Like, subscribe and share. Fun show with Konain.
Everybody, today I'm going to be giving a book review of the book called Matilda by Roald Dahl. So I've already given a book review of The Magic Finger by Roald Dahl, so you can watch that video after this video. So yeah, now let's start. This is a story of a girl named Matilda Wormwood, who is just 4 years old and she's a genius. But her parents, Mr. Wormwood and Mrs. Wormwood, ignores the talent of their daughter, Matilda, and they only like Matilda's big brother, who is Michael. Michael is just a normal child and not a genius like Matilda. So, Matilda's parents always want that their children should watch TV and not get educated. But Matilda wanted to learn, and one day she went to her father and asked that, "Can I get a book to read?" But what was the reply? Her father replied that no, whatever for you want a book. So we have a big TV, you can go and watch it. So Matilda wanted to learn, so she went to the public library and all by herself, she went to the public library and asked the librarian that where the children books are, and then she read the children books all by herself, and soon she finished all the children books in the library. Matilda was a little late in starting school because her parents were not worried about her education. That's why. So when Matilda went to the school, she was only the genius child at her class and in the whole school, because she was only 5.5 and she knew everything. So her teacher, Miss Honey, recognized that she is a genius, and Miss Honey wanted Matilda to go to study in the higher classes, and she went to the principal, who is Miss Trunchbull, and there's another villain who is Miss Trunchbull, because Miss Trunchbull was the headmistress of that school, and that headmistress, Miss Trunchbull, didn't like small children. So she didn't agree to send Matilda to the higher class. Matilda's best friend in her class was Lavender. Lavender was also a girl of her age, and she was just exactly as Matilda. Lavender was also genius and intelligent child. So now Miss Honey went to the Mr. Wormwood and Mrs. Wormwood, Matilda's house, and met Matilda's parents to convince to them that she is a genius, and we should send her to study to all the higher classes, because she's a genius from now, and wanted to convince of her studies and something. But what the reply was, Matilda's mother said to Miss Honey that that I don't care for her education, I care for her looks. She should take care of her looks, that she's pretty or not. So she said that, and her parents just didn't agree and said no, Matilda is fine and she's not a genius. So yeah. And also I want to tell you something, that Matilda loved to play pranks on her father, mother, and her family. So she decided to play some, and I won't tell you the pranks she did on her family, because that will be I recommend you to read the book so that you can also read and then you'll know the whole story. But I just told you a story that what is it and what is it about. But you'll read the story. I recommend you to read the story because it's very, very, very interesting and classic. So I recommend you to read Roald Dahl's book and especially Matilda, because one of the favorite book of mine is Matilda because it's really fun. And now I'll tell you a little bit of more of her school, the parts she had. Miss Honey said to her class that I know that you all are too small and this is your first day and I have not teach you anything, but I'll be asking you a question that who knows 2 times table. And Matilda didn't learn any 2 times table, but she said yes I know, and then she told the 2 times table. Then Miss Honey said that okay, tell me every table you have learned. Matilda told every table, like she told from 2 till 20 tables. So you can see Matilda is a genius from this thing. And then limericks are very hard to read and very hard to make, but Matilda was 5.5, but she made a limerick on her teacher. I'm going to be reading that limerick for you guys, just a limerick that she made for her teacher. So yeah. So guys, as I told you, I'll be reading the limerick that Matilda made for her teacher over here. Can you see it? Over here it's written, the thing we all ask about Jenny is, surely there cannot be many young girls in the place with so lovely a face. The answer to that is not any. So this was the limerick that Matilda made for her teacher, and it's very hard to make a limerick. And so from these little things I've told you about Matilda, which showed you that she's a genius and she's honest person and she's the great. So hopefully you liked this review and I recommend you to read this book. Okay, now I'll read something over here. It's written, Matilda Wormwood is an extraordinary genius with really stupid parents. Miss Trunchbull. Okay, but Matilda will show these horrible grown-ups that even though she's only small, she's got some very powerful tricks up her sleeve. So now you know that this is a very interesting book and it is really small and very easy and it's a classic book. So you should read it. I recommend you to read it. And yeah, thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe and bye.